Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Studio Life. This is my channel. Although I expect that people who watch this video may not be my normal audience of people who watch the Studio Life, I wanted today to talk about bariatric surgery and what happens 1 week out. Obviously, I can't talk about the long-term success of what it means to have gastrectomy, I guess that's what they call it, right? The removal of the majority of the stomach. I don't know if I'm going to succeed. I can tell you where the journey started and what's happened over the last week. And I think it's really fascinating. And I wanted to take a couple of minutes just to give you my perspective. I started this journey. I know people use the word journey. I'm starting to think that anyone who uses the word journey is somebody who's had weight loss surgery. But I don't know that for sure. I've started my weight loss journey about 11 months ago. All of a sudden, after many years of being overweight, but otherwise completely healthy, I almost hit 350 pounds, which was not that massive of an increase, but it was a significant enough increase in weight. But also, my blood work didn't come back as positively as typical. I've been pretty lucky overall. I've generally had very, very reasonable blood pressure and all other indications rather perfect. And so this was quite the wake-up call. My body was no longer going to tolerate the weight and the types of food I was eating, and it was time to make the change. I've also had a lot of knee surgeries through the years. Weight has played an impact. I'm very active at work. I get up, I get down, I move around. And it was, it was hard to move around 300 and some pounds for 30 years. My playing weight in football all the way going back all those years ago was not all that different from where I have been for many, many years. But I've really been over 300 pounds for, 25 years. And over 325 pounds for at least the last 10 years. And then, of course, that last shoot up that basically was the wake-up call. So I figured weight loss was the goal, was easy, right? Let's just knock this thing out. And I did a great job. I was told to limit calories. I limited calories. The best advice I ever got, smaller plates, remarkably good, effective advice, because I can't stop eating what's on my plate. And so that was a problem. I put too much on the plate. I ate. If it was a buffet and someone encouraged me to go back for more, I would go back for more and I would fill up the plate. So I got on this 1,800 calorie a day thing and did a pretty good job. I lost nearly 50 pounds. Well, I got down to 305 pounds, but that really wasn't the entirety of it all, because I was starting to crave a lot of stuff. And with all that weight loss, I was starting to say, oh, well, what's a big deal now if I have an extra drink, if I have an extra whatever, I've lost all this weight, it's fine, I got this, not a problem. And so I picked a little bit of that weight back up, but overall was doing okay. But I know the statistics, I know the way this works, I know the requirements on my body, and I decided to go ahead with bariatric surgery. Went through all the process. And one of the crazy things about this was meeting the psychiatrist. I've been very lucky in my life. I have been rather stable. I don't feel depressed. I don't think I've ever felt depressed. I feel good. And so going in, I have a good mindset. I'm ready to go, no problem. And everybody signed off on my weight loss surgery. Interestingly enough, about 2 weeks prior to the surgery, I started to have second thoughts. And the reason why I had second thoughts was because I felt like I was taking the most important thing in the world away from me. I was going to miss the big steaks. I was going to miss the fancy restaurants. I was going to miss the incredible drinks, the old fashions, the Manhattans I love so much. And I started to feel it. I couldn't go through a day where I thought that I was being stripped away of something that was my core essence. It was a very odd feeling for me. it felt out of balance. And so for the 2 weeks prior to the surgery, I really felt like I was going ahead with the surgery only because it was scheduled, not because I wanted it, not because I needed it, not because my life would be better for it, but only because it was on the calendar. And the only question was, did I have the guts to cancel? Not did I have the guts to go through with it. I was going through with it because that was inertia. I was not planning on canceling because I'm a man of my word, not because it was what I wanted to do any longer. I would rather become incredibly obese and sit in the restaurant of my choosing than proceed with something that would take that away. I found this very interesting. This was one of the most interesting moments of my life, realizing that the food was an incredible psychological addiction. And I don't know that I had appreciated that. Maybe several months before the surgery, I started to really appreciate it when I would realize that I can't stop. If somebody left some ice cream in the freezer, I had to finish it. Or if there was leftovers, I had to make sure that got eaten before it went bad. I knew these draws, these things that were pulling me in. I also know my enemies, right? And a lot of your enemies are going to be the people around you, the people who get you chocolates on the holidays or on your birthday. Everybody who wants to meet for a cup of coffee at Starbucks. I started to realize everybody was sort of an enemy, but not an enemy worth fighting. I kind of kept giving in. I'd give in and give in and give in, and it's a recipe to never lose weight, right? So now here I am, a couple weeks before the surgery. I'm just getting sucked into the surgery. All second guessing, and then the surgery happens. I didn't have to be on a liquid diet ahead of time because I had lost enough weight, I guess. But here I am, going in and about to go under the camera or the knife or whatever laparoscopic means. So proceed with the surgery. I had a terrible couple of days after the surgery. I don't handle anesthesia well, it turns out. After 12 knee surgeries, as well as a bunch of other joint surgeries from my sporting days, all of a sudden the last couple have been brutal. I didn't know to connect how I felt after a surgery to the anesthesia until after the bariatric surgery, where I was wrecked. They want you standing right away afterwards. I couldn't move. They want you drinking, starting to ingest some protein as well as some water right after surgery. I didn't want to do anything. I was hurting. The feeling, but I got home, 2 days I got home, and here I am starting the drug process. And my drug process included giving myself an injection every morning and every night. I had to take the caps off some pills. They tasted terrible, as well as a multivitamin every night. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it didn't taste good. Putting the contents of a pill in applesauce that didn't taste good, and the pill definitely didn't taste good. That wasn't fun. And I dove into the injections like I bungee jumped, which was, I don't think about it, I just stab. And so basically now it's been a week of me just stabbing, not thinking, a little bit of alcohol wipe and go, bam, done. Through the course of this week, I've watched my weight continue to fall. That doesn't mean anything good because I'm on a starvation diet, basically. It's protein, drinks, and water. But I'm now below 300 for the first time, and I feel good. I wish I felt like I could celebrate. I don't want to celebrate because it feels like it's forced weight loss, like you're in a prison camp. You lose weight, but it's not the right way to lose weight. But I know it is. I know that this is good stuff. It's on a path. It's on that journey, right? I still crave every day. I still crave. And the problem that I'm seeing now is that I can't seem to separate myself from the people who are causing the problems. Just coming in today, I had 3 people I have a very active job here, and I had 3 people offer to meet me for coffee. Somebody gave me a thank you gift because I lent them a few things, and outside my house was some fancy foods, little gift basket, and that kind of stuff. If food is the way we socialize, that we say hello, we say goodbye, we say thank you, we be polite, we treat each other well, it's always the food. And so here, a week out, the pain of my incisions, which did hurt a bit, not too much, a little Tylenol. I didn't do any narcotics. That was enough to take care of that. Itchy though, they itched. Basically, maybe the hair growing back in. That wasn't fun. The idea of running on fewer calories, that really hasn't affected me all that much. Don't tell anybody, but I did get back to work really fast. Not lifting heavy objects, but just being back here. So this is not a debilitating surgery. It really is about changing your body into something that I haven't really realized yet. And maybe I'll start to realize that once I start to eat something. Maybe because my stomach is smaller, a little bit of protein drink or water seems to maybe fill it up enough so that I could sleep and all that stuff. And so that hasn't been a big problem. But I'm getting ready to go back to the doctor and see what's next in the next stage for me. So it's going to be a long path, long journey. But overall, I think that the psychological stuff is for real. It is a pure psychological addiction, food. I don't know that it's a physical addiction as much as it's all in your head. If you see it, you eat it. Or if you need to finish the plate, you finish the plate. Or if someone's trying to be polite, you accept the politeness by eating their food. I really think that I'm aware of that now. I wasn't aware of that before. And I need to do a better job at making sure that people don't treat me in the same way they might treat somebody else who's super thin or is not an addict. So I now appreciate that. I get it. I am now glad I did the surgery. So my second guessing is over. But, there is a long path. I've seen people succeed at this. I've seen people fail at this. And I hopefully will do everything right, everything that needs to be done in order to be the person who I want to be, the one who can hike and sail and go zip lining, do some of the things I wasn't allowed to do when I was too heavy, just because they wouldn't even let me zip line when I went with my daughter. They wouldn't let me get on the zip line. They're like, 300 pounds is our max. So once again, I get to either watch or my daughter would have to forego it. So my weight punished everybody. So now we're getting to a point where those limitations will not be put upon me. And I like that. And so I have to just remember, why did we do this and where are we going with it? Otherwise, we have to save the rest for the second week, the third week, the 10th week, the 100th week, 1,000th week to see really how we finish this thing out. So anyway, I wanted to give you a sense as to how the last week is played, and definitely reach out if you have questions, concerns, you need support, you want to chat. That's I think we're on the same side, all of us that are on the bariatric side of things, and all the rest are enemies. They're trying to make us eat. So we're here to support each other. I don't know that I appreciated that before. I appreciate and get it now. And so that's about it. Anyway, I'm here at the Studio Life, not talking studio stuff, and hope to see you for years to come. So that's about it. I'll talk to you again.
3, 2, 1.